Bueno, gente, vamos a empezar con el segundo round, ¿sí? De TBT y Helms. Así que bueno, vamos a mantenernos ahí calladitos. Espero que les haya gustado el primer round. A mí me gustó bastante, tuvo mucha ventaja el equipo azul, ¿sí? Vamos a ver si en el segundo round vamos a ver la diferencia o puede ser que remonte el equipo rojo. Así que bueno, vamos a chusmear.
Out here at Farm God, enjoying the first of our three matches today.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I saw those girls on the back row. They were showing like Alex. So there's the virtual farmer fun club. Is definitely in the audience.
I am fairly sure they weren't calling for me.
Who knows? Anyways, yeah, we have a lovely crowd. That's going to be the case here. We're going to be starting the second game just in a matter of seconds. And as we can see, Helm is feeling pretty good. We can see that the players are enjoying as we speak. Let's see what Trelleborg is going to be thinking about it. Of course, the loser of this game will still be dropping on the lower bracket, so they're not out of the tournament. So they're still playing against the My Insanity. So if Helm is going to win this one, Trelleborg needs to play My Insanity on the lower bracket, and then they're going to settle who's going to be going on the grand final on that series of matches. Let's see what's going to happen with the telehandlers. This time, John Deere is the same, which we saw from Helm. So it's all about Trelleborg. Yeah, they will do the same. They will allow at least the other telehandler in the play.
I think the choice here with Trelleborg is not so much changing up this side of things, although they're not banning the New Holland telehandler this time. But it's really going for a slightly different strategy in game. They've got to find some other way of disrupting Helm, and yeah, the banning stage is not the place that they're able to do it.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, but I really like that we have the telehandlers, and we know that Helm is never the one who's actually banning them. It's always the opponents of them, and it's all about the opponents who are not comfortable with the telehandlers. But as we can see, Trelleborg is not one of those. We saw the tosses coming from them at least 3 times on the previous game, so Trelleborg is definitely happy to play with the telehandlers, and we saw the toss yesterday, which actually got them the win, the final one-bale toss. And so we know that Trelleborg is not afraid to play with the telehandlers. The different question is, will My Insanity allow the telehandlers to be on the play?
And we've got the Case Magnum and the Fent 942. So 2 big tractors being selected.
Yeah, and we do have bottleneck versus bottleneck, so those are the perks that we're going to play against, which means that if we go for the third game of the series, then we will have the Unstoppable versus Big Hole, but just the vice versa from the last game. Unless, of course, somebody wants to play with the herbicide. You never know. I mean, Helm is sometimes doing these tricks. And,
well, yeah, it's not a bad choice, actually, to mix things up at that point.
Yeah, well, let's see how it's going to go. Will we have the third game of the series, or will Helm actually sweep the floor out of Trelleborg tires? That's the other question. But there we go. We're going to be heading towards the pass because Martin and Loiko, they are actually heading straight towards the same combine. Loiko's going to run for it, and he's going to get that down as well. So there we had it. Trelleborg's going to win that battle because the JK going for the baler at the same time. And let's see how the first bales are starting to build up. Helm is very focused, as we can see. They are watching their monitors. They are trying to find that every single piece of a performance that they can get. And of course, to be getting the first bell, JK seems to be slightly, well, not stuck, but very slowly moving. But he's of course waiting somebody to come with the baler. But Loiko and Haydn are already on the fields. So they are pressing the first bale here. And Haydn actually already has it. So he's going to be heading towards the barn.
Yeah, this is a strong start from Trelleborg coming into this second game. Both teams, as you said, have bottlenecks, so they're both going to go round. They've either got to go the safer route, or they have to go over this bridge here. Haydn's heading over that, and he's going to be a fairly strong first bale, not spectacular, but he is well ahead of Helm. And slowly in for a 129.
Yeah, that's going to be, well, they're going to take the lead at least, but of course not the greatest first bale, but taking the circumstances, JK is still here. They're actually meeting on the bridge. Of course, you know, not in real life, but I kind of like the idea, give me 5 on the way as they will pass the bridge, and JK 112. So they're going to be 17 points behind. It's not the end of the world.
No, it's It still gives them a just a single bale, a single extra bale being delivered.
Yeah.
And they have a chance to do that now. You know, there's a bale drop there. So if they were to grab that Helm, they would they would immediately even things out.
Okay, we'll see if they're gonna go for it. That's the first wave of the drops. Martin gonna be getting back on the field. Gonna be just starting to grind the grain. And meanwhile, as we follow what's happening on the grain game, it's the same as what we can expect. Trelleborg slightly actually leading because they got the first bell done faster, so they are back in the business. And yeah, we'll see how this is gonna play out. I mean, of course, Trelleborg now everything's gonna be aligning them for well, but yeah, we know how strong opponent Helm can be, and of course, there's no room for any kind of a mistakes.
No, not at all. They're even a couple of seconds tends to be pounced on because it's it's just enough time to get that extra bale back. Things going fairly smoothly though for Trelleborg right now. They've managed to empty both of their combines. Hayden will go and park that up. Oh no, looks like Hayden's actually just going to go and take it to the sell point and maybe drop it off. I'm not sure if he's actually going to go and sell it now or deliver it now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we saw the same happening on the last game as well when JK was also driving the trailer to the silo, and then he just parked it there. And I don't think he's going to change the strategy right now. I mean, who knows? I mean, I might be completely wrong, but yeah, he's going to leave it there. I mean, I would understand that if they would play with the big hole, for example, then they have a different strategy with the grain. But I think when it comes down with the bottleneck and with the unstoppable, I kind of feel that the strategy, when it comes down how they will do the grain deliveries, are usually the same. Because they have the same equipment on their disposal. But that's just me. We'll see. 45 seconds anyways, then we'll see what's going to be coming out of the drops. And do we have maybe some kind of a multiplier that's going to be changing the game or blowing up the mind of Alex? We're going to be seeing that in a matter of seconds.
That's a good question. Attack coming around and avoiding more of the weeds as he does so. A big pile of weeds in the next section of the field, so he is going to try and avoid those. Meanwhile, Hayden's coming in, and we've got our drop point there for the 5.5 minute drop.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what's going to be coming out of that one for sure. I mean, they want to wait if there's a multiplier there. I'm not risking to do the delivery. Yesterday, though, we had a couple of situations when people had actually, speed limit and crazy tool. Okay, no grain multiplier. Nice. But yesterday, we had couple times the situation that there actually was a grain multiplier popping and the other team had done a grain delivery.
Oh no.
But in the end, they actually did recover from it because they immediately started to collect more and then they managed to deliver a fair amount with the multiplier as well. And that was evening out the other team who just had the one large delivery with the multiplier.
And that's the thing, it's adapting at that point, and sometimes those just you need to drop early to try and get your opponents to do something wrong, and it doesn't pay off.
Yep. Well, speed limit's gonna be picked by both of the teams. And we can see JK heading towards the barn. I mean, he did the same. I don't think we're going to be expecting any kind of an early delivery. It's the 2.1 multiplier for Trelleborg tires at this point. And yeah, they're just going to be lining the bales right next to the belt. So that's completely normal. And meanwhile, Loiko not just chilling, of course, but he's moving the telehandler a little bit. So moving quite easily on the landscape.
And Hayden bringing no, that is chilling. Martin is chilling in his telehandler on the side. You can see him just moving the mouse back and forth, trying to get it to turn onto its wheels. And he's finally got it over.
Yeah, and we can see that the audience, they are applauding. So yeah, you can get applauses from the mistakes as well when you show this great recovery skills with the telehandler. So he's going to be solving that out. Let's see how much of a difference that's going to make. Meanwhile, Martin, he's going to be heading back to the fields. He's going to be collecting some of the bales because Loiko, he seems to be getting ready for the toss, to be honest. And there we go. So Loiko's going to be getting that speed, going to be lifting the handler And there we had it, and that should be okay.
Yes.
It's going to be all 3 bales
Those are
in. That's
all
going to be
in.
60 points for them. So the multiplier was exactly 2.0. So the Trelleborg claiming some points.
Ooh,
Martin
this is a bit
maybe has
wide.
the same idea. Yeah, but it is a slightly wide, but at least the bales are all heading towards the front, which is kind of a good signal, because sometimes we have seen that the one bale is slightly sideways, and that is in a way causing more problems. So let's see how this goes, and all the 3 bales are going to go in. That's going to be 60 points for Helm as well. I would imagine that if Martin wouldn't have had that problem with the telehandler, they would have done that toss before Trelleborg originally.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting thing to me is how far out Trelleborg have pulled at this point. They are well ahead score-wise. I don't know if they have extra bales. They have extra bales to Helm, so there is the space there to catch up. In fact, there are a lot more extra bales for Helm. So Helm are actually at an advantage at the moment, despite what the scoreline says.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, also all the grain has been delivered, so they will end up with the 2.0 multipliers, as we can see. Loiko, maybe another toss is coming. We'll see. No, he's going to be heading slightly with a different route. Oh, this is a nice picture, actually. I like that view. So Loiko will be just aligning these bales on the belt, doesn't go for the toss. And they're actually going to be dropping 2 of them. I don't know what's the case there. But yeah, that's going to be much of a problem. So he has the time. They have the even amount of bales. So yeah, Trelleborg is kind of in the lead, but you never know what's going to happen with the final 2 minutes with Helm.
And Martin's coming in for... No, he's not. He is just going to place them on the side. And place them onto the belt. He looked like he was initially lining up for a Helm hurl, but wasn't to be. And instead, he seemed to decided to just get those bales on the belt and get them scored.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, it seems that both teams are doing exactly the same things. I mean, even with the movement with the telehandlers, they are both going for the belt, but just Helm is, let's say, 15, 20 seconds behind all the time. And that's probably because of the first bale and then the problem which Martin was having at the pad. So, yeah, I'm super excited to see how this is going to play out, because we are starting the final minute. We know how efficient both of the teams can be. So this will be a very close one, I would say, in the end. And let's see how Helm is going to play this one. Can they actually still close that gap? Because Trelleborg for sure will do everything in their power to keep that even the smallest lead. I mean, 1 point is going to be enough to win the round, and they need to win it, because otherwise they will drop to the lower bracket. So 45 seconds to go.
It's closing.
Yeah, it's going to be 17 points of a difference. It's going to be 2.0 multiplier for both of the teams. Helm is actually having 3 bales on the belt. That's going to be 60 points. We can see from the X-ray that Trelleborg is going to be doing that work as well. They will have another 6 bales on the belt coming up as well. The final 30 seconds are starting, as Martin will put another 3 bales on the belt. We can see Trelleborg, they're doing exactly the same things at the same time. It is so exciting to see how this is going to end up, because it's going to be all about the timings, and also both teams do have the same amount of bales still available. So we'll see what's going to happen. We can see that there's still one final delivery coming towards the barn. The final bales for Helm are on that truck, and with that bale on the belt, it's going to be Trelleborg taking the lead. 4 seconds to go. They're going to be trying to do something. It's going to be too much for him. Martin, can you make it? No, he doesn't have the time, and it will be Helm
yes.
actually getting the point somehow in the end. So that
Helm
will be...
Helm were slightly ahead at the end. It wasn't, but it's like 3 points in it. It's 5:32 to 5:29.
Oh, that is so close. I mean, I was really wondering if this is going to be all about the one final bale which Martin was still having on the fork of the telehandler. But yeah, it will be Helm taking 2-0 sweep, dropping down Trelleborg all the way to the lower bracket, and Helm has secured their place on the grand final. And they will also have the advantage on the best of 5 final, so they will have that one default win at the start of the series. But
they have made things easier for themselves with that. Now, if Trelleborg is going to face them again in the final, not only do they have to beat my insanity, but they have to have played 3 games in a row today, or 3 matches in a row. So that does make things harder.
It will.
For Trelleborg.
And now we can see on the stage, yes, we do have, of course, Helm. Well, of course, shaking hands of the opponents. I mean, they haven't yet won it, and nobody has lost the tournament yet even. But yes, they still want to tank from the Great Series. And we can see My Insanity actually starting to line up their stuff on the desk as well. And also we saw that the Trelleborg actually will move to the spots of Helm at the same time on the stage. I guess that's a pretty fair thing, that they need to change the place at some point. And yeah. So we should be probably will be having a short break in a matter of seconds before the next game. We will have some time for the teams to set up their stuff, but it's going to be the same, I guess, like 3 minutes, which we had yesterday as well. So
yeah, we will see you shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Amigo, la vuelta de Helm. El grupo, o sea, estaba perdiendo. Remontó en los últimos segundos. ¡Wow! ¡Qué ojete! ¡Qué ojete! Yo no puedo creer, boludo. ¿Cómo remontó ahí, chabón? Bueno, espero que te haya gustado el segundo round. Parece que vamos 2-0. Los TBT están para el horno. Ya prácticamente ya perdieron. Así que los Helms van a pasar a la siguiente ronda. Va a esperar el otro versus. A ver quién juega contra este equipo. Espero que te haya gustado este pequeño, bueno, campeonato. La verdad está genial. Nunca me pensé que sea tan atractivo esto de jugar al Farming Simulator como modo champion. Así que bueno, espero verte en el próximo episodio. Recordá, si querés que suba los otros campeonatos, comenta y seguimos viendo. Si no, lo vamos a dejar hasta acá. ¿Sí? Recuerden que también hago episodios del Farming 22 hasta que salga el Farming 25. Voy a hacer 10 episodios y voy a colocar listas de reproducción de diferentes otros juegos, como juegos demo y todo lo demás. También tenemos un Discord por si querés unirte y compartir tus mods de Farming 22 o de otro juego que te interese. Tenemos un pequeño blog ahí para poder compartir cositas. Desde ya, nos vemos hasta la próxima. Chau, chau.